Welcome everybody to this training video. My name is Scott McMillan, project lead for the IHSS Benchmark Dashboard. In this very short video, what we're going to do is we are going to identify the workplace violence typology in a new column for your categories that have the workplace violence type included. So if this video applies to you, if in your reporting system, when your officers are writing a report, a violence report, and they're adding the violence category, like assault, aggravated assault, sexual assault, if they also have an option below that, a subcategory, to identify the workplace violence type, then that's going to get combined into one label in the incident category. And we need to be able to isolate the reports that have workplace violence type in a separate column. Because as you probably know, the IHSS treats workplace violence as a separate data field. It is not a category. There is no workplace violence category in the IHSS framework. So here we have a sample data set. It's got the 6 columns that align with the IHSS format. But what's missing is the workplace violence column. And that's because, again, in this particular data set, if I highlight this row here and this cell here, we can see that the workplace violence type is actually a subcategory attached to, in this case, the assault category. So what we need to do is we need to identify all of the rows in this data set that have a typology, and we want it listed over here in a new column beside it so that we can count it as a separate data field. And this is very easy to do. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to copy this column and we're going to paste it here. And we are going to rename this workplace violence type. And now what we need to do is quite simply just remove everything except the category labels that have workplace violence type. So we're going to want to filter this. So we need to turn on our filter. So we're going to go to data, and it's already turned on, but we see that the arrow does not apply over here because it's a new column. So we're just going to toggle it off, toggle it back on. Now we can click on here. We're going to type in workplace violence to filter it. And we want to select this one here that says add current selection to filter. And then we want to uncheck the one that says select all, which is referring to all of these workplace violence ones. So you can see that they're now all unchecked. And when we hit OK, that is now removing or filtering out all of the workplace violence. Now, all we need to do is highlight all of these. I'm going to hold Control and Shift and press down. It's going to highlight all of them. And we're going to click Delete. That's now removed everything except the workplace violence types, but we're still filtering for the non-workplace violence, so we just need to go back in here and we need to turn them back on. So we'll select all, hit OK, and if we scroll down, we can see that now the only thing in this column are the ones that have workplace violence type, which is exactly the same as the category label. And that's fine. You can keep it like that. We don't really need to do anything more, because when you upload this data set into the IHSS benchmark dashboard, you'll be able to map the unique labels in this column against one of the 5 workplace violence types. So when you're doing that, you're going to be specifically mapping assault hyphen workplace violence type 1, but the only thing that you care about is the type. It doesn't matter what the preceding category is. So every violence category that is a type 1 are all going to map to type 1 in the IHSS. And type 2s are all going to map to type 2s. And that's it. So we've literally just created a new column for workplace violence. We've isolated only the data, the rows of data that have workplace violence. And you can now save this as your 2025 data, upload it to the benchmark dashboard, and you're now able to just map these unique labels against the 5 workplace violence types. So I hope that helped. Thank you very much on behalf of the IHSS for participating in the dashboard. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out. You can use email dashboard@ihss.org, or feel free to reach out to me directly, and I'm happy to help answer any other questions or concerns. Thank you very much. Good luck.